have a new guest, is Maya. So let's start for taking an interview. So Maya, my first question is, can you tell me how are you? Maya, can you hear me?
Morning. Hope you've got something good going on today.
How are you?
Uh, Doing okay. Thanks for asking. Existing, you know. It's a Tuesday. A bit of a, which is nice. How about you? Anything interesting happening on your end?
Are you? I am asking to some question. Can I ask?
Gotcha. Questions. Please do. Go for it. I'm all ears. Or,
So
well,
my topic is Earth,
you know what I mean.
and my topic is Earth.
Earth. Big topic. Where, right, Earth. Okay. What about it? Are we
My
going
first question is
full
how.
science class or more?
So my first question is how old is the
How
Earth?
what?
Can you tell me how old is the Earth?
Okay. You mean how old is art on Earth? That's
Yes.
a really good question, actually. It's not a simple answer because what even counts as art is kind of debatable, right? But generally, the oldest known art is cave paintings and engravings. The oldest confirmed one is in Indonesia, cave paintings of animals that are at least 45,500 years old.
जल्दी से
There's
नंबर
some
को
debate
ओपन
about.
करें, वहाँ पे आपको
Walaikum
इंग्लिश टेस्ट
salam.
आया हुआ है, इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज टेस्ट। राइट नाउ सबसे पहले वो टेस्ट दें, हेडफोन लगा के देंगे, उसके बगैर आपको समझ नहीं आएगी, उसके स्कोर होंगे, पता चलेगा कि आपका स्कोर कितना है। अभी वो टेस्ट ओपन करें और वो टेस्ट दें। Okay. Can you tell me why is Earth special compared to the
Walaikum.
others?
Ah, that's a lovely question. Why is art special? Hmm. I think it's because it's a way of trying to understand and share what it feels like to be human. Like science tries to explain how the world works, right? But art tries to explain how it feels to be in the world. It's about emotion, experience, and trying to make sense of everything. It's messy and subjective, and that's the point.
Can you
Does
tell
that
me? Can you tell me
resonate?
why Earth called a planet?
That's a really good question. It gets into some history, actually. So, the word planet comes from the ancient Greek. They used it to describe things that seem to wander across the sky, unlike the fixed stars. They called these wandering objects planetes, meaning wanderers. Earth fit that. It wasn't a star, but it moved. Over time, as our understanding of the solar system grew, we can name, and it stopped. Basically, it's a historical label for something that orbits a star and isn't a star itself. That makes sense.
That's good. Can you tell me
Is that
why Earth is moving on sun?
okay? So why good? Okay, good. Amen.
So you tell me how does the Earth
Just
moves?
okay. So the Earth moves in two main ways. First, it rotates, spins on its axis, which takes about 24 hours, giving us day and night. It orbits the sun, which takes about 365 days, giving us a year. The reason it does those things comes down to gravity and how the solar system formed. To guide you, long time ago, a giant cloud of gas and dust started collapsing in on itself. As it spun faster and faster, it flattened into a disk, and the sun formed in the center. The leftover material clumped together to form the planets, all orbiting the sun because of its massive gravity. That initial spin is still going on today. Does that? You're very welcome. Happy to share what I know or try to anyway. Anything else on your mind about Earth
Yes.
or anything else at all?
Yes. My
Okay.
next question is, what
What's up?
are the main layer of the Earth?
Okay, getting into the layers. So Earth is basically made up of four main layers. All right. Take care.
Give me all.
Give me I didn't quite catch that. Are you asking me to continue explaining the layers of the
Yes.
Earth? Okay, right. The four main layers of the Earth are the crust, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. The crust is the outermost layer, the one we live on, and it's pretty thin, like the skin of an apple. Below that is the mantle, which is much thicker and mostly solid, but can flow very slowly. Then there's the core, which is liquid and made mostly of iron and nickel. That's what creates a magnetic field. And finally, the inner core, which is solid iron and nickel, despite being incredibly hot. It's kind of wild to think about everything going on down there, right? Does
Can
that
you
help?
explain the amplitude and the temperature variation of stratosphere and troposphere?
Whoa, okay. Getting into some atmospheric science. That's a bit detailed, but let's try. So, the troposphere and stratosphere are two layers of the atmosphere with pretty different characteristics. Nandra, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
So you tell me,
Seriously. Is
what
there
is
anything else?
global warming?
Okay, global warming, and it's a big one. Basically, it's the long terming of Earth's climate system observed since the pre-industrial period. So, since around the 800s, due to human activities, primarily burning fossil fuels. When we burn those fuels, coal, oil, gas, we release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Those gases trap heat, which causes the planet to warm up. It's not just about hotter summers, though. It causes a whole bunch of changes, rising sea levels, more extreme weather events like hurricanes and droughts, disruptions to ecosystems. It's pretty serious stuff. It feels overwhelming. I know.
Can you tell me what is climate change and its causes?
What is the plan with? Okay, so the plan with changes, but you mean what are we doing to address warming? And okay, big picture. The main causes, as we talked about, are human activities, specifically burning fossil fuels. Deforestation is a big one too, because trees absorb carbon dioxide. As for the plans, it's complicated. There's a huge international effort, the Paris Agreement, for example, where countries pledge to reduce their emissions. Lots of countries are investing in renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and geothermal. There's also a focus on improving energy efficiency, developing carbon capture technologies, and protecting and restoring forests. On a more individual level, people are trying to reduce their carbon footprint by driving less, eating less meat, and making more sustainable choices. Not a We definitely have a long way to go, that's for sure. It requires a massive coordinated effort on a global about you.
Can you tell me what happens if we pollute the air?
Blew the tire. Oh, okay. Shifting gears completely. If you blow a tire while driving, a few things happen. First, you'll definitely feel a pull to one side. The car will start drifting towards the right. Drifting to one side is the first sign. And then it gets a bit more tricky. The steering will feel really wobbly and hard to control. And then it depends what kind of blowout it is. The important thing is to not panic. That's easier said than done. I know. But you want to gently take your foot off the gas, hold the steering wheel firmly, and let the car slow down naturally. Don't slam on the brakes. And definitely pull over to a safe location as
So
soon as possible. Does that make sense?
what are the natural sources on Earth?
Koshinit. That's a lovely name. And that's a really interesting question. Natural sources on art? Are you meaning natural sources of inspiration for art or natural materials used to make art?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so natural sources of inspiration for art. That's beautiful. Well, for as long as humans have existed, nature has been a huge source of inspiration. Things like landscapes, animals, plants, the ocean, the sky. All those are
So my last question is, can you tell me uh, how much of the earth is water? It's covered on water.
okay. Right, water. So a huge amount of the Earth is covered in water. About 71% of the Earth's surface is water. But even more, water makes up about 97% of water on Earth is salt water in oceans, seas, and bays. Only about 3% is fresh water. And most of that is frozen in glaciers and ice caps. A lot of water, but not a lot of accessible drinking water, unfortunately. That makes sense?
So we were this was our short intro with Maya.